Alright, well, had to run some errands and change the oil in the truck today and do some other odds and ends. It was kind of too late to get started on any combine projects, and had several people over the last month want to see a crop update, so I guess we'll do one of these. Not gonna stop at every field, but we'll kind of go over the highlights of this shit show. This is the North Muck field. As you can see, weeds are an issue, at least on the outside here. God damn. This is actually the first time I've been down here in probably 6 weeks, mostly because I just got tired of looking at it and wanting to throw up every time I've seen it. I gotta say, I mean, the population's a little thin, but this stuff actually kind of turned out. Hopefully it actually produces a crop. Lots of damn double ears out here. I tell you what, that's a double. That's a triple. That's a triple. Wow, there's a lot of ears out here. Holy shit. And then there's the wet spot. Damn, this shit's tall. That's a double. That's a double. I got some damn yellow nutsedge down here. This field's actually both these fields. The south field down, the 12 acres down there is pretty much in the same state as this. So we'll just stop at this one and talk about it for a minute. But both these fields had to get sprayed twice, and it looks like they could have stood to get sprayed a third time. And I got warned by my buddy that farms in between here and here, who took over, there's 20 acres there that he bought from the guy that was farming this. And my buddy warned me, he says, you're gonna have weed issues, just get used to it. Well, you don't gotta get used to it, but until I get it under control, it's just something I'm gonna have to live with, because the guy that farmed this, I love the guy to death. I'd do anything for him, but weed control, and it's not necessarily his fault because he hires Coal Alliance to do all the spraying. Just that, we won't go on the subject of Coal Alliance around here, but needless to say, the weed control down here was lackluster, to say the least. So I kind of inherited a problem child, and until I get it under control, it's going to be a problem child. And this was not the greatest year to try to start controlling weeds on muck ground, because of all the way the weather's been, and it's just been a terrible year. So that being said, a lot of lessons learned about farming down here this year. I think next year I got one or two options, and it's going to I got one or two plans, and it's going to depend on what the weather does. Either I want to put beans down here next year so that I can completely flip the herbicide program, because my soybean herbicide program this year kicked ass. I got a couple spots where the weeds came back a little bit, but it's like you'd have to go back in and spot spray it. It wouldn't even be a full tank, and you'd be better off to do with a backpack sprayer. These are probably some of the cleanest beans I've grown in 3-4 years. I'm incredibly impressed with my soybean herbicide program. The corn herbicide program would have been great, except for I didn't put down, I just trusted the numbers that the guy gave me, who I bought my herbicide from. He gave me a liquid atrazine, which I'm not used to. Normally all the atrazine I've ever had to deal with has been granular. And he gave me it basically I ended up only putting down a 1/4 pound atrazine to the acre. Not nearly enough. Normally around here you're up around 1 pound. And I talked to several guys around here that farm muck, And they said, even though you're technically going off label, muck, you can easily go 3.5 pounds atrazine to the acre. You won't hurt it, just because that's how much muck interacts with the residual herbicide. So long story short, my residual down here was not nearly heavy enough to control the weeds to begin with, which is partially my fault. Should have done a little more investigation on it, but I also trusted what my herbicide guy told me. So, I don't know. Take that how you want. But regardless, my two options for next year down here that I'm looking at are A, put beans down here to completely flip my herbicide program down here and kind of smoke some of these resistant weeds, because I got resistant ragweed, I got resistant ragweed, palmer amaranth, and water hemp down here. All three kind of really hard to control. But with my soybean program, I can smoke the shit out of them. So I got that option. Or if I put corn down here again, which we'll see how this yields. If I get good corn down here, it may be kind of hard to put beans down here. So if I put corn down here again, not only am I going to up my herbicide rate to try to smoke some of this shit, but weather dependent, I am also going to probably be very religious about cultivating down here. Probably try to do it at least every 2 weeks, if that's what it takes, to try to clean some of this up. Because weeds there still hasn't been, well, Johnson grass resists tillage. Johnson grass loves tillage. You can spread Johnson grass with tillage. But aside from Johnson grass, there really hadn't been a weed invented yet that can resist iron. So, and another reason this corn's looking so damn good is we've also been in another drought, and this is probably some of the only corn that had a decent amount of moisture, just because it's growing on muck. So we got that. There's a lot of damn ears out here. I mean, it still looks shitty because of the weeds, and I'm really embarrassed by it, but it is what it is. First year farming muck. I inherited a problem child. It's just been, things and stuff and learning lessons. But I'm really impressed. The last time I was down here, I was not so impressed. So, and most of this video is going to be focused on corn, because all in all, my beans I am incredibly happy with. They are turning out really good, as long as they actually finish filling out. Because like I say, up until last night, we finally got 3/4 inch of rain last night. We were in dire need of. It was one of the $1 million rains. It was, if we didn't get that rain, we were gonna be, we were screwed. We were hurting down here pretty bad over by work on the sand, because we're all heavy ground down here. Between here and where I work, it goes to sand real quick. It's not blow sand, it's got some clay in it, but it's really, really light ground, got a lot of sand in it. And between here and work, there are soybean fields that are done. They'll be dried down by the middle of next week, and you could harvest them if you wanted. They're just going to be little BBs in them pods. There's a lot of corn between here and work that is in the same condition. It's drying down already. It's dead. And I mean, there's a lot of guys that got stuff planted fairly early this year, but there's nobody got it planted early enough that shit should be drying down the last week of August. Stuff's dead from drought. That being said, I guess all things considered, looking at the state of everything around the country as far as agriculture goes, it's better to have BBs for beans and have 25 bushel beans than have something to make a little, well, you're not going to make any money, but you're going to pay some bills. It's better to have that than to have everything you have laying flat on the ground and you're looking at the crop insurance man going, give me money. So anyway, this is the muck. It's just kind of a weedy mess, but like I say, this is the first time I've been down here. As far as the corn goes, it's looking mint. So I guess on to the next field. Okay, this is the field well, this is the only field where I successfully managed to get any replant out of the ground, because I replanted. Oh, I see the damn deer have been at work out here. I replanted and then it quit raining, so none of the replant got sprouted. Well, this is disheartening. I hate deer. I'd kill them all. They're nothing but a rat. Everybody thinks they're so cute. No, deer are rats. They're big rats. Well, they've really been at work out here. Son of a bitch. This is just what you like to see. This isn't the only field they've been in either. I got that field 88-day corn. They tore the hell out of that. Apparently they tore the hell out of this. Shit. But anyway, this is the only field where I successfully managed to get any replant out of the ground. Because the shit got, again, this is a result of lack of atrazine. And the fact that the shit's just not that thick, so it never really canopied out. But at least there's something here to work with. It ain't gonna be great, and you know, you're probably looking at 150 bushel corn here maybe. And it gets a little thin right in here. And it's got decent sized ears though, but there's just not a lot out here. This is why I say this video is going to focus mostly on the corn, because the corn this year is just terrible. I'm actually somehow the opposite of everybody else. All my beans, they're going to carry me this year. My beans, I am incredibly, I'm 100% satisfied with my beans. They're stayed clean, they're nice and tall, they're nice and thick. My corn looks like shit. I hate all of it. I don't want to look at any of it. I really don't want to harvest it. I'd rather just come out here and mow it down and be done with it. But everybody else around here has been bitching about their beans all year, and nobody has been bitching about their beans all year, and is happy with their corn. I hate my corn. It's all garbage. I don't want to look at it. My beans, I really like them. I'm definitely planting Wyckoff again next year, and also next year I've heard a lot of good things about their corn, so next year I'm probably going to plant some Wyckoff corn to try it out. But anyway, this is failure field number 1 of pretty much most of them. So anyway, I guess we'll go take a look at a bean field that's right near here. Alright, so this is one of the bean fields I had to come in and replant. And the only spot where I got any weeds that came back, this is the spot right here where I had to come in and replant. So the only spot where I got any weeds that came back was where the beans were a little thin for a while and they hadn't canopied out yet. Everything else clean. I am incredibly impressed with my soybean program on Herbicide. And these things are tall. They're every bit of waist high. And these are the 2.2s. They caught right up to the 2.6s. And they got, I mean, they're not completely loaded, but there's gonna be some nice beans out here. The 2.6s got a, yeah, them 2.6s are pretty loaded there in the middle, so this is a lot better stand of beans than what I had out here the first time I had beans out here. And actually this house and everything is for sale, and they supposedly they didn't supposedly, they had it surveyed, and they got a damn survey stake, and you can see the flag, it's right there in the middle of the damn field. Or no, that's the survey stake. I don't know what the hell. Oh, that's the corner of a semi sitting over there. And see another stake over here. It looks like I'm gonna lose a fair bit of damn ground out of this deal. Because there's a stake right there. I wonder how that's quite a ways into the goddamn field. These things get tall out here, I tell you what. I was not expecting this out of this field the way it looked at the beginning of the season. Shit, I'm gonna lose 40 foot of field. Holy shit. That ain't worth a damn. Yeah, I'm gonna lose 40 feet because it's 4 drill passes to get past this wet spot. Son of a bitch. Which means I am not gonna have any long rows left because well, that's not worth a shit. How the hell does the property line get off that far? But anyway, this is one bean field. This is all from Drought. I got these things planted early, but they shouldn't be losing leaves last week, August. These were starting to die. You know, these are already dead. So yeah, that's how close we were to just losing it. So anyway, alright. And then I guess the final stop will just be here at the house. Because you've seen these 5 fields that I'm going to show you in this video. You've pretty much seen the entire situation I got going on. This is all effect of the drought. This is 110-day corn. I got it planted at a decent time. I think, when did I start planting this? Second weekend in May, I think, if I remember right. I'd have to go back and look. I got it planted at a decent time. It was not planted early enough for the ears to be dropping at the end of August. This is all burn up from drought. That being said, this is also the only field of corn I got where I would honestly look at it and look somebody right in the eye and say, I did that. Because this is some good looking corn. It's a little thin right here because this is a damn clay knob that no matter what I do, I can't get it to work down right. But you get out into it, this is some really nice corn. Big fat ears. And a lot of them. Yeah. And that's a big old ear. I can't get my finger. I can just barely touch my fingers together. And that's what a lot of them out here are like. And there's a lot of doubles out here too. They're not full doubles, but even 25% of a second ear, that's something. So, but this field also never disappoints when I got corn on it. This right here is proof that field tile pays for itself. And holy shit. That's how dry it was. Those are dry cracks. Holy crap, those things are huge. But if I didn't have the tile system out here that I have, there would be no corn where I'm standing right now. There wouldn't be anything. It would have all been flooded out. And this is, why can't every field look like this? Nice, even stand, tall, decent ears. I mean, I'm not going to say this is 200 bushel corn, but this is probably 180, 185 bushel corn. Which the season we've had, which has been terrible, I'll take 180 bushel corn any day of the week. And this is every bit at 11 foot tall down in here. This field, every time you got corn out here, it doesn't matter the year, this field grows in a swoop. It's light ground on both sides and heavy ground in the center, and the corn gets short in the center and tall on both ends. That's the way it's always been. That's the way it's always going to be. That's just what you expect out of it. But it always produces. This field is, I don't think this field has ever let me down. But we'll get over here to the beans. Actually, neither one of these fields have let me down. This is some really good dirt. This is some really good dirt. Sorry, soil. It pissed me off in the plowing video. There pissed somebody off in the plowing video that I was calling it dirt, not soil. This is really good soil. It just doesn't roll off the tongue as good as really good dirt. I mean, these beans right here, these are armpit high. Just about. These are some nice beans. That being said, just because they're tall doesn't mean they're going to yield nothing, but generally tall beans don't hurt you none, as long as they stay standing. Tall beans like to lay over. I need to find a row I can walk. There we go. I think we're in a row. Damn, these are tall. I actually haven't walked out through these. I've just looked at them from the road. They got pods from stem to stern. Holy crap. Like I say, I am really, between my soybean herbicide program I got this year and these Wyckoff beans, holy crap. These are probably some of the best looking beans I've ever grown. I am in love with these Wyckoffs. I'm definitely planting these again next year. And I'm definitely trying some of their corn next year. And I'm definitely running the same herbicide program next year, because that stuff is phenomenal. But you can see down there on the high ground where it got dry, they're turning already. Which, if we were another 2 weeks in, that'd be alright. That'd probably be about the time these things should start turning. I'd like to see them fully senesced and probably ready to harvest by the last weekend in September, first week of October time frame, since they're 2/6s and I got them planted early. Drying down that quick, that was drought. That shouldn't have happened. It's either drought or sudden death, but I'm leaning toward drought. But anyhow, yeah. And the 2-2s I got over on my uncle's place that I got planted last, those are looking really good too. They filled in real well. Some of the hills are a little thin. They, like you saw, oh, what video was that when I was spraying? Seems like I did something else out there. But anyway, yeah, it would have been that last spraying video I did. They were a little thin on the hills, but they filled in for the most part. It's not going to be, that front field's still going to be kind of meh. The back field looks great, and for 2-2s, they are damn near as tall as these. They are some really good looking beans too. So, but because I got them planted, what, 2 weeks later and everything else, I would expect those to be coming due about the same time as everything else. So anyhow, like I say, that's the crop update. Would have been nice if we'd have had more rain well, it would have been nice if we had more rain today like we were supposed to, but that never happened. But like I say, as far as, I mean, we're a lot more fortunate here in this area than you can say, like you guys out in Iowa. Like, you watch something like that and it makes it really hard to bitch about a little bit of drought. But like I say, the guys over around work, they're done. If they didn't get any rain today, they've been irrigating 24/7 for the last 3.5-4 weeks. And anything over there that's not underwater, or that's not when farmers say something's underwater, it means it's under irrigation. Any acreage over there that's not underwater is dead. It's dying, dead, burn up. There's nothing. And what you get, corn is the biggest thing that affects you on corn is test weight. You'll still get, saying you'll still get yield out of it isn't the best way to describe it. You'll still get about the same number of truckloads off of a field, but you won't technically get the bushels because the test weight's going to be garbage. Soybeans, the pods don't fill. You'll have 3 beans in a pod, but they'll just be these little teeny tiny BB looking things. And it takes a lot of little teeny tiny BB looking things to fill a combine hopper. And you just won't get jack squat off of a field of beans that have been through a drought. So, you see, we got 3/4 of an inch of rain. That was $1 million rain last night. It's not going to carry us through September. We still need more, but it pulled our asses out of the fire for probably 6-7 days, hopefully. And it's supposed to be cooler, because that's the other thing that's been killing us. It's been hotter than Hades out lately. And you'd think all that heat would have kicked up some thunderstorms, and it never did. But, yeah. It is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. The guys that have been running pivots are all really kind of touchy from lack of sleep, because they've been doing nothing but tending pivots, because that's a 24-hour a day job. But like I say, you've seen these fields, you've pretty much seen the state of what I got going on. That 88-day corn been fucked by deer. Well, the small field been fucked by deer. The big field didn't come up for shit. There's nothing. I'm gonna go pick what's out there, but it's nothing to write home about. I got another little 2-acre patch that lack of atrazine, and the fact that the guy that farmed it before me made some ungodly strong resistant ragweed that I was not prepared for. That field's getting moldboarded this year. And that field didn't come up for shit to begin with, so had no canopy, so the ragweed is thicker than flies out there. So I got that to work with. My big 14-acre, yeah, I could say big 14-acre field of corn. My big field of corn, that's not the muck, the one I got over here. That field, the population's kind of meh, but what's there looks decent. So I'm probably going to have about 50% good corn this year, 50% corn that doesn't yield for shit. And as long as they fill out, I am really excited to see what my beans do, because they all, like I say, all my beans. I got one 4-acre field where they're kind of short, but they still canopied out really well, and they look really good. I mean, by short, they're probably like that, about like that. But the whole field came up except for one low spot around a like pond type deal. I got like 20 foot around that didn't come up because it flooded. But other than that field, all my beans look amazing. I am really happy with all of my beans. So, anyway, I guess that's enough of me rambling. I want to get this video up tonight. And you can only stand here and listen to me say corn and beans and drought so many times before it gets boring. It's probably been boring already, and most of you quit watching. But anyhow, that's it for this one. We'll catch y'all on the next one.